Center for Multi-Party Democracy has called on Kenyans to come out and register in political parties or form their own. Speaking at a press conference held at Uhuru Park ahead of the People Dialogue Festival, the chairman of the Center for Multi-Party Democracy, Kiraitu Murungi, said that Kenyans, especially the youth, should come out and voice out their concerns concerning democracy. Kiraitu also added that democracy is under threat globally, especially through elections, due to the rise of hooliganism, mismanaged elections and violence around the election, which results in massive abuse of human rights.
We don't say it's just a preserve of politicians. All of us are affected, and all of us should participate in the democratic governance, of this country. We are giving space to even the voiceless to come and voice their concerns about democracy and the elections in this space that we are providing here. There will be ordinary Kenyans, there will be IBC, there will be political parties. So this is the place to engage with them. Because when you meet with them out there, they will be talking on top of the vehicles and saying they have come to listen to you. But they don't get any feedback, from you. So in this space, we are providing a place where you listen to them, ask them questions, but also a place where they can also listen to you. As to what you have achieved, some of the successes of the things done in this world are not visible. They are invisible. But you only see them by the impact that they create in the long term. And democracy is always a journey. It is never a destination. It is a journey we have to continue trying to improve whatever we have. And you can see around the world, democracy is under threat. Not only in this country only, in the continent, but I could say globally. You can see what's also happening in the rest of the world, including United States. So, it is for us to keep engaged, to keep vigilance, if the democratic space is not going to be closed. Regarding the concerns about the elections and the processes which we are seeing around, it is true. Everybody has come out to condemn the rise of goonism in this country. Indeed, democracy itself, and indeed elections, have become a threat to democracy. Mismanaged elections, violence around the elections is threatening not only democracy, but it's also threatening peace and security, in the country. You have seen around, even in our neighboring countries which looked stable, countries which looked peaceful. When an election is called and is minimally mismanaged, it always results in massive abuse of human rights, in death and repression. So what we are trying to do is, instead of waiting to count the dead, instead of waiting to complain after the event, we want to come early, upstream, and try to imagine situations which are going to arise as we get into elections, engage with the actors, and see whether we can prevent the ugly signs of the electoral governance in the country, and also try to improve our systems so that Kenya does not follow the trajectory where we have seen. We are also concerned about the disengagement of our youth. We have more than 8 million votes with our electoral processes. You have seen there have been an appeal to the youth to come out, register as voters. Very few have come. So we are trying to move the youth politics also from the streets to the ballot box, because that is a safer way for the future of democracy in this country. We are particularly worried about the youth declaring themselves to be partyless, to be renderless. And we are looking at a situation where such kind of group can win. And then there's a leadership vacuum, like what we saw in Madagascar. The youth have won, but they are just adding over to military and other dictatorships, so that whatever gains the democratic participation was giving is actually lost, because there was no orderly, there was no structured, managed transition.
The call for shifting from personalities, the call for shifting away from ethnic identity in politics to a shift on issues is gaining traction and gaining ground, including the young people's complaints in 2024, in 2025, that you could see that they are not just out there to protest, they are actually highlighting critical issues of governance reforms, of accountability, of challenging the economic policies, whether they are sound and whether they are progressive or not. So this is what a dialogue in a democracy does, pushing the critical issues to the center, removing personalities, removing the ethnic profile, to focusing on how do we collectively as a society deliberate on issues that afflict the society, and then cross-pollinate ideas as political parties, as civic actors. And of course, you can see that while the temperatures in the country have been very high across, when it comes to engagement in CMD, these are all different political parties. There is ODM here, there is UDA here, there is WIPA here. This is where we sit and deliberate on democracy, and the political parties being the primary stakeholders for that. When it comes to this people dialogue festival, you will see that people maturely disagree and agree that let us disagree, but this is my point of view, and you respect it, and I'll also have my right to express my views. We strongly believe that appreciating and elevating the place of dialogue in our democracy is the only surest way of advancing from generally institutionalizing party systems to beginning to professionalize those party systems. And my brother, that is what we pride ourselves in, and we're sure that this election, this particular PDF, dedicating it to elections preparedness, bringing in the IBC and having, we will show you a section that we call the Uchaguzi Pavilion, bringing in the IBC and all state agencies and non-state agencies that are within the electoral ecosystem, will also add value to allowing young people to interact. Most of them have not seen the chairman of IEPC since he was picked.
The 8th edition of the People Dialogue Festival is expected to run for 4 days at Uhuru Park in Nairobi.